Hey, what's up guys? It's me, Russian Inventor, back with a new video, and in today's video we're gonna fix some bugs in the watering plant system which we made in the previous video. If you haven't seen that video, you should go and check it out. It didn't got that much views sadly, so maybe fix that, I don't know. And yeah, we're gonna fix this system, so let's go! Okay, so there's three problems with the current setup. So first we should add a USB cable because batteries can run out pretty quickly. And the second problem is when we have old batteries and we try to turn on the device, the batteries are old so they don't have enough power, and when we run the motor cannot start spinning, and I think we should add a capacitor so that it would help the motor start spinning. And the third and final problem is that there's no way to control the delay or the wait time of the water pump by pressing some kind of button. You have to go into the code and change the variable, and not everyone can do that, so I think we need some kind of a system to like press a button for a different time or something. And this is all three problems which we will try to tackle today, and hopefully we will succeed. So I'm gonna start off with the easy thing and add a cable to it so we could power it with a USB. And yeah, first I need to get out the batteries. Okay guys, so I just did all the soldering thing and it works. When I turn on the power on button, it works. You can hear the motor spinning, but I just realized something. We forgot to put the 5-volt USB cable through the hole that we drilled. So now I have to redo the whole thing. Okay. So this part is complete. It took me longer than I thought it would. I connected the USB cable. The wiring is kind of messy, but like, what do you expect from me? Yeah. So when as you can see, no batteries, right? No batteries. And then I pressed the turn on button, and it works from USB. So let's move on to the next step. So the next problem is that the motor has trouble starting when the batteries have low power. And to fix this problem, I'm planning to use this thing called a capacitor. But first let's learn what a capacitor is. A capacitor stores energy. So think of a capacitor like a battery, but capacitors can be charged in a matter of seconds. And compared to batteries, capacitors have way less storage. If you want to learn more about capacitors, then I suggest to check out this video. It's gonna be up in the eye. Okay, so enough of this theoretical knowledge, and let's move on to practical use. So I got this electronics learning lab and made this simple schematic. So here, as you can see, when I press the button, the LED turns on and then fades. And the fading is due to when the button was being pressed, the capacitor would save the power, and then when I release the button, the capacitor gives the energy it saved back to the LED. And then I replace this small capacitor with a much bigger one. And you can see how much more power this capacitor is holding, and the fading is much more slower. And yeah, for comparison, this is what happens when you remove the capacitor. So then I tried to implement all this knowledge to the system. I randomly tried many different capacitors, but none of them worked for this motor. So I guess I didn't know that much about capacitors after all. There are many different capacitors for different purposes, and I don't know which one to use in this scenario. So if any one of you knows and knows how to help me and like tell which capacitor to use, then write in the comments down below. I will like your comment, but for now I'm just gonna use the USB or the batteries that are full. So I thought of different ways I could make the interface to control the delay of the pump. I wanted something simple and intuitive. Many schematics and ideas on the internet were way too complex or required way too much power when the Arduino was in delay. So I came up with my own idea to use a dial, or also called a potentiometer, which is often used in many devices. Potentiometers are similar to resistors, so a resistor limits the amount of electricity that can go through it, but its resistance will always stay the same, and for potentiometers its resistance is changing based on the position of the dial. So here, to show how everything works, I grabbed the multimeter, connected it to the potentiometer on this electronic set, and then when I spin the dial you can see how the volts are changing on the voltmeter, and yeah, we can see the values changing, and that's pretty cool. So then I soldered the potentiometer to the Arduino. On the internet I found a code which measures the change of the dial and shows it on the screen. It basically measures the change of the voltage when we spin the potentiometer, and then it converts the signal from analog to digital and shows it on the screen. Isn't that cool? We created an analog to digital converter. Nice. So then I took both of the codes, modified them, added them together, and we got the new code, which I hope will work. I also wrote some if statements and made it so that the potentiometers had different positions which control the delay in days. Okay, so I'm done. I finished this final code. Not gonna lie, it took me quite a while to make, but I'm finished and I'm happy. But before I show you how it works, I need to make the sign next to the potentiometer, which shows the delay in days next to the position of the potentiometer. Also, down below in the description, I included the code which shows the corresponding days in delay to the potentiometer's position. You should check it out if you want to build it yourself. Okay, so the sign is done. Of course it doesn't look professional, but it gets its job done, so that's good. Right now I'm gonna show you how this thing works. Here I got the USB cable I connected just for power, 5 volt power. One sec, come on. Okay, so that's power. Okay, I'm gonna turn it off. So here we have the potentiometer, and then you put it to position whichever you like. I run the code, which is gonna be, instead of days, it's gonna be seconds just to show, but in the real life I'm gonna of course have it for days. So I have it for 1 day, for example, and when I turn it on, you can hear the motor turning on every second. And then if I go, okay, I want to have it for 2 seconds. I mean, yeah, that's gonna be 2 seconds. In real life, it's gonna be 2 days. Here. Yeah, now it's turning on for 2 seconds. Then I go, for example, 7 seconds. Yeah, and now it's doing it for every 7 seconds. It's turning on every 7 seconds. Also, if you change the delay while the machine is waiting, you have to reset the machine by pressing on and off button. So we build the machine, but the real test is when we test the machine out, and the real way to do it is to use a plant, but we don't have any plants, so I got plants. Here, I got seeds. So I'm gonna plant them right now, and then I'm gonna put the watering system. Here's the seeds. I'm gonna choose one of them, and I'm gonna test it out on the plant. Hopefully it will not die. Bruh. So I thought a little and decided to use the salad. I like salad, so I'm gonna get these leaves, salad leaves, the vegetable. Yeah, let's use it. And then these ones, maybe I will use them later. The operation planting has begun. Okay guys, so I have the machine over here ready, and let's do the first test of watering this plant, which it has not even grown yet. And yeah, let's see what's gonna happen. I'm gonna turn it on, put it to 1 day wait period, and then I'm turning it on. Power is on. And yeah, it's watering the plant. Oh, okay, yeah, it fell off, but like, yeah, it watered the plant. Yeah, it hasn't grown it yet, as you can see, but yeah, it works. I think this is a success. One thing we could work on is the pipe. Maybe in the next video I will replace it to something better, so that the water would spread equally over the plant. I'm really proud of how this project turned out, from just an idea to the whole functioning system. I especially like the potentiometer part, just because of how convenient it is. I also didn't plan to explain all those capacitors and potentiometers, but it was just so interesting how everything worked that I decided to do it. By the way, if any one of you are still watching, the Russian Inventor is proud of you. You can like this video and write a comment of how underrated the video is. Okay guys, so that is basically it. I think this project was a huge success. It all works. I'm gonna make probably another video where I'm gonna show how the plant grows. And yeah, I think I need to modify the tube so that the water would spread equally, not on the only one place. Please like and subscribe, because that helps me to understand that I'm making a good content. Yeah, and yeah, like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you next time. Bye.